something that really hit me hard a few years ago, but especially in 2024. Um, if you stop posting reels, stories, emails tomorrow, would your business survive? Would you be able to handle everything in your business without you having to control everything, or would everything just stop? Now, most of us are actually the engine in the business. We're the marketer, we're the closer, the strategist, the content team, we're the product. And at some point, it starts to feel like you're constantly just pouring things out, giving all of your energy. And especially whenever you're not getting those immediate things in return, you're immediately just going to feel burnt out. And you're going to show up every day feeling like, is this even worth it? Am I doing things the right way, the wrong way? And that's probably why you're here. So this challenge isn't going to be just about learning AI or collecting a bunch of prompts. We're going to want to get ahead of the learning curve so we can build a system that actually thinks, speaks, and sells like you, so you don't have to burn out anymore. So today we're going to start with building that system, and it all begins with the brain of your clone. So we're building the foundation. Number one, clarifying your most profitable offer. Leave a comment in the chat of what your current offer is. And if you don't have a clear offer right now, that's okay. Go ahead and leave that in the chat as well of what your idea is. The second thing is we're going to teach your AI how to think, how to talk like you, and we're going to get your first clone up and running live before you leave the end of this call. So like I mentioned before, have ChatGPT up, have your notes app up. This is going to be very interactive. I want you to walk away with a clone. That way tomorrow, on day 2, where we're focusing on conversions, you're going to have everything you need to hit the ground running. So we're going to walk through this step by step, but before we dive in, I want to be super clear on what we're going to be covering specifically today. Today, we're covering the offer extraction, the clone training, the hands-on input, and I really don't want you to focus just on creating prompts. I want you to think bigger. I want you to imagine what parts of your business are you going to be able to actually expand now that you're equipped with the skill of cloning yourself and potentially cloning different departments of your business. Now, the trap that most people are going to get stuck in is that you're the product, you are the team, and you're probably also the bottleneck because everything has to go through you. And if it doesn't go through you, it probably doesn't get done. And eventually that's just going to break. You're going to do everything yourself, repeat yourself. I mean, we had a team of 14 people at one point, and we were having the same conversations every single week. And we've cut that down now to where we have our clone communicating on our behalf to our team because we no longer have to do it anymore. We don't need to do constant to-do lists or reminders. We have a second brain functioning for us. Now, let me go ahead and look at the chat here. We have one offer here, offering creative services, design, printing, swag, and merch. Go ahead and leave your offers in the chat. We're going to pick one person at the end of this to do a live demo. So we'll see who has the most interesting offer. Now, a quick check-in as well. Who here, type me in the chat, has rewritten the same offer 6 times, but it just feels unclear? You're not sure if this is the right offer. Maybe you've had to explain how you talk, you work, and think with your team members over and over and over again. You're having those same conversations and you're still showing up daily, but you're always on all of the time. Go ahead and leave a comment in the chat. We have Christine here. She's still working on her offer. Christine, let's get clear on that by the end of the call today. Now, with these 3, if you feel called out a little bit, good, right? That means you're in the right room because we're going to be getting you clarity. Now, I'm going to show you how I went from being the system to building a version of me that works even when I don't. Let's start from the beginning. I mean, this allowed me last year in 2024 to live in 10 different countries, travel, build a business, and rebuild my life based off of freedom. And with the system, we're going to want to use it to replace that manual effort so it can pitch your offer, write your content, answer questions, follow up with leads, and eventually help you through the sales process, all in your voice, all based on your beliefs, and all without burning you out. And that's exactly where I was when I was getting started. I literally felt like I was drowning every single day. People leave a 9 to 5 so they don't have to work for somebody else, but then they end up working 25 hours every single day in their business with the same rat race that they've just built for yourself. Let's get you out of that. I was personally tired of just repeating myself. I was tired of feeling like if I didn't do it, nobody else would. And everything was in my head. And maybe it was on me. Maybe I just didn't know how to communicate effectively. Maybe I wasn't clear on what my vision was. But it felt like I was duct taping everything in my business together with just willpower. And then one day I realized I don't think it's supposed to be this way whenever you're growing a business or working with clients. I needed a way out because this it wasn't sustainable for me at the beginning of 2024. I had just started traveling, and I feel like whenever you are traveling, it really reveals the bottlenecks in your business. And if I wanted to continue living that lifestyle, I had to figure a way out. And AI became that way out for me. And the moment it clicked was whenever ChatGPT really started becoming popular. I honestly didn't take it seriously at first. I expected just generic outcomes, templated responses, just the random stuff that you'll probably see on Facebook posts that people are posting, where sometimes they give you the prompt at the top and they didn't even edit it out. That's what I was expecting from just ChatGPT in general. And that's how people were talking about it at the time. They were just using it as a tool, one-off hacks. They were writing emails with it, maybe writing DMs with it. But now I started treating AI like a business partner. Yes, I have my business partner here, Carlos, but sometimes we just don't communicate well. He's very aggressive, macho kind of guy, very direct to the point. I have a little bit of emotions. I'm a little bit softer sometimes. So in order for us to be able to communicate, AI has actually become our mediator. So it's our middle business partner now, so we can just get things done quicker. But first, you need to build one that you can teach, one that you can trust to carry your voice, and eventually that one will help you make decisions and communicate with you, like you, and for you. And whenever I started treating it like a business partner, I felt this huge sense of relief. It was like a breath of fresh air that I don't have to hold the weight of my business anymore. I don't have to do everything myself. And it wasn't just about writing more emails faster or writing responses or creating content. It was finally building something that would actually take my place. And so that's what we're going to build today. We're going to build what yours is. We're going to build the brain of your AI clone first, the part that thinks like you, so it can start to work for you. But first, your clone needs a brain. It's only as useful as the clarity that you give it. So it can't guess what you do. It can't make up your offer. It can't decide what matters for you or for your audience. And if you want this actually to work for you, we have to build it around your real business. And that starts with your offer, but not just any offer, a clear offer, something that's clonable and easy to understand. We're going to anchor this into the truth of your business with these 3 elements. So these are the 3 elements, or the clone and convert triangle, as we call it, that make up the brain that we're going to be building today. We have your offer, what you're selling, how it's structured. We have your avatar, who you're speaking to, what they care about, and your story. So your beliefs, your voice, your tone, what makes you different from everybody else. Within these 3, you can't build a clone without having these connected. As of right now, we're going to start off with getting clarity on your offer. Would your clone or would your current ChatGPT know what you sell? Does it know what you do? Does it know who you're talking to? Leave a comment in the chat. Yes, my ChatGPT knows exactly what I do, who I work with, or is it still kind of fuzzy? Do you struggle explaining it without rambling? If your offer is confusing to you, it would be impossible to train your clone with it to even get good responses from ChatGPT or any AI model if you're not even clear on what you're expecting from it. So this is where most people get stuck. They try to build these fancy automations, go to make.com, they go to Zapier, they try to build it without getting clarity on what they actually do. And so we're going to walk through a few things. Number 1, who do you help? What results do you promise? What objections your clients or your past clients have had? Write these down on your notes as you go. What pops into your head immediately? These will become the thoughts your clone will eventually use while creating content and answering questions for you, or even writing emails or anything along those sort. So go ahead and take a screenshot of the 4 things your clone needs to know about your offer: who you help, what you promise, how you're different, and the common objections. To go a little bit of a level deeper here, who you help. I'm not just saying, hey, I help 35-year-old women in Illinois accomplish ABC. That's not really what we care about here. Who you help is going to be, who is this person and what is the problems that they have? What you promise. That's going to be the milestones. If this person is here at point A and they want to be at point Z, what are the steps it's going to take for them to get there? What makes you different? How is your approach different from everybody else? And what are some common objections that they have? And let's use a prompt to help you build this out. And I'm also going to show you an AI clone that we built to help give you clarity on this process as well. So the first thing, just to kind of spark the conversation with AI, is with a one single syllable sentence. You've probably heard this from somebody like Alex or Mosey, Myron Golden. It's a very simple sentence. I help who get what in how long without big objection. Let me show you some examples. I help brand designers sign 5 new clients in 30 days without relying on referrals. Another example, I help busy consultants generate leads using AI without spending hours on content. This allows you to avoid the need for fancy branding or 20-page sales funnels. You just need a sentence that AI can repeat, reframe, and run with. And this is what's going to make it real. So I'll show you how to do it, then I'll drop in the bot so we can go through a live demo here. Now, what we use, actually before what we used to do is this would take us 3 hours per client whenever we were doing this manually. We'd get on the consultation call, we'd go through some ideas, stick things on the wall, map it out like an evil genius, hope something sticks, bring it to the market, and either the market responded well or it didn't. Now, what the offer bot's now been trained to do is we trained it on experts in the field. Myron Golden, Alex Ramosi, and this can actually audit your offer live. Who wants to see a demo of this? And I'll go ahead and look at the offers that are in the chat. If you haven't put it in the chat already, I'm going to pick one here very quickly. So we have Linda that says, I have one that does, but I just created a new one. Let's see here. We'll use working on commercial restaurant build-outs / coaching. So let's go ahead and do a demo of this. I want to show you how the offer bot works. So we're going to show, here it is. Perfect. Can everybody see my screen okay? Good, good. Awesome, awesome. So we're going to go here to the offer bot. We have all these resources in our community that we just launched. And so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go through the offer bot worksheet and we're going to go to the offer bot, which is what I want to look at here. With this offer bot, I can type in any offer and it's going to take me through a process of questions that I can answer to get clarity on who I'm talking to, who my buyer personas is, and even my social media messaging. How do I deliver my idea, my offers through social media in a way that's actually going to get people to convert and resonate? The goal with this offer bot is not to make you go viral. It's going to make you get more leads to come in. So let's show you a demo here. We're going to press start now. And it's going to ask you a series of questions. Now, with this, you can I typically do the dictate button, so the text to speech. So I would come into here and I would answer all of these questions. At the end of this, it'll give me an offer report or an offer audit with all of the information that I need. And in just a few minutes, I'll show you what a knowledge base is, because we're going to want to really stay organized on organizing all of this data that we're collecting with ChatGPT, because it's typically not reliable whenever you're just having conversations and not saving it somewhere. I'm going to go ahead and also drop a prompt in the chat. If you don't already have access to the offer bot, or you're not clear on what your offer is, I want to challenge you. Let's see if your AI knows what your offer is. Go ahead and copy and paste that into your ChatGPT right now. This prompt is going to see if your ChatGPT knows what you do. Does it know what you do? Does it know who you serve? If it doesn't, that may or may not be why you are not getting good responses from ChatGPT whenever you're creating marketing material, content, or even just writing emails. Go ahead and put that into your ChatGPT. I'll give you a few seconds for that. While we do that, I'm going to ask this offer bot to go through a demo with us of a theoretical person. So I'm going to say, let's see here. Fill this out with a demo client so I can see the responses and what a report would look like. Awesome. So demo client, it's a mindset and business coach. The offer is an 8-week group coaching program for creatives to turn their scattered ideas into a signature offer. It probably knows what I'm talking about right now. And what you're going to see is it's going to summarize everything. This is what the report actually looks like. It's going to answer all of these questions, and it's even going to create multiple variations of your offer sentence that we talked about in the previous slide. So then you would pick one that you really resonate with, and it'll also create bios that you can use on your websites, that you can use on your offer clarity tables, and it'll also come up with a VIP client intelligence report. So this would be if we're looking to work with higher ticket clients, who is this person? What is their day-to-day life? And how could I create content that resonates with them? And as you see, it's going to take you step by step. So this is step 1 that we just went through. Step 2 is the avatar builder. So I could say, go through all steps. And it's going to go through all the steps. Just for this demo client, for you, I would recommend using the dictate and just being honest. It'll take maybe 7 to 10 minutes to go through this offer bot and get a full audit of what you need. And this is what this would look like. And we would copy and paste this into either a Google document or a Notion document to save this for later. This is the material and the detail or the depth of detail that we need to train our AI clone on who you are, who you work with, and all of this information here. So we would want to copy and paste this. And then now we can actually go into building out your AI clone. Now that we have clarity on what your offer is, who you're talking to, the messaging tables, and all of that sort here. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. We'll come to them at the very end of this as we run through how to build your clone next. So let's go back to this here. And if you went ahead and used that prompt that's in the chat, go ahead and let me know your response. Does your ChatGPT know what you do and who you work with? Or is it a little bit lost and confused? Go ahead and leave your response so I can kind of gauge where we're at here. Now that we have this, we can start building your clone. Your clone needs the context of, LOL, Jeffrey, yours is lost and confused. That's funny. Algo stacks, yes, is a pretty good understanding, just needs to define some verticals. Okay, great. Yeah, we'll definitely get clarity on that. And with the offer bot, we'll go ahead and share that as well in the email follow-up. Now, like I mentioned before, you've already seen what kind of stuff your AI needs to learn how to think like you. Just daily conversations is not enough. We need to take 10 to 15 minute sessions to really dig deep and document this somewhere, such as your desktop, Google Drive, Notion, whatever you use. Drop in the raw files that actually represent your brain, even if it's just messy transcripts, notes that you have, offer outlines, maybe you have DM conversations with clients that you closed. Have all of that documented somewhere so we can use that in the future to train your AI. The more it knows about you, the better responses it's going to get. So we're literally creating a digital version of your brain on file that you can reference, your AI can reference, and actually you'll be able to train your AI across multiple different platforms. That's a little bit more advanced, but we're building with the future in mind. So we're going to stay organized. Now, the next part is where we actually build your clone and bring it to life. So this is how your clone becomes powerful. So we're not training it to become a genius just yet. We're trying to make sure it actually knows what you do and has clarity. And then eventually we'll put it at genius level where it's just going to be insane. We're going to save that for tomorrow. So whenever your AI clone has all four, whenever your AI clone has all four, it knows your offer, who you help, what you do, what differentiates you from other people, then we can start thinking about creating the clone. And there's 4 different things that this part needs as well. It needs what your clients ask, what you know, what you believe. Let's say you're in the fitness industry and you know that with your practice, you don't like vegans, or maybe you're a carnivore diet, right? What is unique to your own truth in your business? Make sure that's known. Number 3, how you explain things. And number 4, how you choose what matters. We're actually going to document this through video. We find this is the most natural way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right? Because we can document your voice and we can get your mind on paper. Now, before we go a little bit a level deeper, you don't need to be technical to do this part with building your AI clone. But there are 3 terms that you really do need to understand. So take a screenshot of this, study it, never forget it. These are going to be terms you're going to be using for AI forever, right? So first one is going to be the voice calibration. So teaching the bot how you talk, tones, phrases, style. Do you say ums, us? Do you say yeehaw? Do you say y'all? Or do you say hey, right? Depending on where you're from. Second term, knowledge base. You've heard me say this a couple of times already. A knowledge base is where you store everything, your story, your offers, your key materials. And if you need to make updates, it's very, very easy to go in and edit and reprogram or re-update your GPT. And that leads into the third term, which is a custom GPT. So think of this as your own AI assistant trained to sound and think like you. And let me show you an example of what this actually looks like here. We're going to be diving deep into the, let's see here. It's this one, ChatGPT. Here it is. Okay, perfect. So to kind of visualize for you what this actually looks like behind the scenes with the terms that we just looked at, knowledge base and custom GPT, you'll see I have a dozen or so custom GPTs, and I actually have even more that are not pinned. You'll see I have GPTs for storytelling, for building bots, for building carousels, and all of these are built with trained data. And this all is connected with my business GPT, which is trained on my story, our business model, and everything you need to know about what we do, who we've worked with in all of our case studies. In the future, you'll actually be able to connect your custom GPTs together. So if I wanted to connect my offer bot and have my offer bot have a conversation with my clone, that's possible. So imagine employees are communicating with each other now. Let me show you what the knowledge base looks like. This is insane. So this is where we store everything, collect everything. If we make any updates, we add it into here. And you'll see here, I have different tags. So I have my transformation story, I have trainings, I have content creation. All of this is in here. And for the sake of today, we're going to be building these assets right here, starting with your transformation story. This is the root of everything. Sometimes it can be a little bit awkward doing this yourself. Grab a friend, grab your business partner, have them help you through these interview questions. And we do give away the full interview questions. It is a little bit lengthy because we do dive super, super deep into this. And let me show you what that looks like as well, just for context right here. So within this, the community, we give all the processes built in from here. So how do I show this? Oh, here it is. There you go. So whenever you're building your AI clone, just come into here, copy and paste the questions into your GPT, and now you can just have your GPT basically interview if you don't have family and friends who don't want to sit you down with you for like 30 minutes and you just want to do it yourself, right? So you'll be able to get those assets as well. Now, going back to, now that we understand our phrases, what we need to know for today, let's dig in. Pull up your ChatGPT and let's go ahead and build your bot together. Now, Most of you will probably not have your story transcript ready yet, but you can go ahead and walk away with your offer breakdown, your avatar profiles, and your messaging using the offer bot that we'll go ahead and share with you. This is where it really gets personal. So whenever we think about building your AI clone, we don't want to sound professional at all. I don't want to see any may I's or corporate tonality whatsoever. I want to hear the voice that you naturally have so we can train it with that human touch, even whenever you're not the one writing. So if you share this with your executive assistant, they're going to know exactly how you communicate. And this starts with a process called voice collaboration. And the secret is that you don't need anything fancy. We just need your real voice. So even if you've done podcasts, videos, I wouldn't recommend adding team trainings into there because sometimes those can have kind of a corporate veil to it. Something where you're in your natural. And the easiest way to do this is to record a quick video of your voice, just unfiltered, telling your story. Some tools that I recommend to do this is going to be Fireflies, Loom. What's cool is if you have an Apple computer or any Apple product, Apple Notes now transcribes all of your notes for you. So you can just do an audio file on Apple Notes and it'll automatically transcribe it for you. You can just copy and paste that into your Notion and or a Google Drive. If you want to do this on Zoom, you can use Fireflies or Otter AI. You'll probably see we have our Fireflies into here, and that automatically transcribes all of our Zoom meetings. What's cool about this is you also don't have to worry about editing, perfecting it. If you say if you take, like a 5-minute break to gather your thoughts or cry a little while you're reflecting on your story, that's okay, right? Just tell ChatGPT, hey, this is a hard part for me, and just keep on going, right? Be real, be authentic with it. And once it's transcribed, that's whenever we'll drop it into the knowledge base that I just showed you. We have to stay organized in this new world so we can use that data accordingly. We don't always have to scramble for that. And honestly, this is one of the most powerful things that you can get in the practice of doing. For the sake of today, we're building first your AI personal assistant clone. In the future, you can build a operations clone, a sales clone. You can build clones for each department of your business trained just like this. If you already have systems, processes, videos recorded for onboarding new team members, you can create an onboarding clone so they can just go through that and ask questions accordingly. This is where I really want you to open your mind on what's possible and why starting with an AI assistant is going to be the most crucial part of it, because then they'll be able to connect it with the other employees, aka the other clones. So step 1, we've got your story recorded. Before that, we got clarity on your offer. We understand what you need to do to map out your offer, and you can also use the offer bot as a quick cheat code to get that done. Now, with the recording that we just did with just mapping out our story, hey, I just created a 30-minute video on who I am, what my story is, XYZ, we're going to use that same video to calibrate your voice, right? So it's a twofold kind of thing. One fold is documenting who you are. The second fold is documenting how you talk. And so this gives your GPT a head start on how you communicate. Like I mentioned, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'll go ahead and drop the prompt in the chat so you can use this later on. Even if you do have a current YouTube video or somewhere where you have documented your story in the past, maybe a podcast or something, you can use this prompt to do a voice analysis of the way that you communicate. So like I said, are you saying y'all? Or are you saying hey? What are some common words that you say? What's your tonality? Are you more playful and fun and joke around? Or are you a little bit more serious and mellow and you talk with a little bit of slower pace and everything's kind of about like wisdom, right? What side of the spectrum are you on? This GPT is going to help you document that. So go ahead and save that prompt so you can use that over for later. We're going to use this to upload your story and train the clone on how to speak like you. Now, I know we ran through this. We're giving you a high-level overview, and then we're going to go through a demo at the very end of what this actually looks like. So at this point, this is where we're really going to start gathering these assets to put into our knowledge base. So like I mentioned, create a folder in Google Drive, Notion, or your desktop. I personally recommend Notion because it has AI built into it. So not only can you train your custom GPT in ChatGPT, but AI or the Notion AI is naturally going to learn more about you and you'll be able to ask it questions accordingly. Now, getting back to this, we have your voice calibrated. We know how you talk, common words and phrases that you say. And this is where the actual power of your clone is behind the scenes, is with this knowledge base. So we're going to upload your story, your offer, your avatar profiles, messaging examples, and any additional notes on tones or beliefs. And that's it, right? We're not training it to be a genius at first. We want to get a minimal viable product, or we just want to get something out there to test it before we make any necessary adjustments. We don't need to upload your full life, every single thing. We just need a baseline to get started. You can train one bot today, repurpose the same materials to train it into Claude or other platforms. I believe Gemini allows you to do it now as well. Now, let's watch how this actually works behind the scenes. So I'm going to walk you through a demo here of Client C. Let's talk about who Client C is, and let me know if anybody resonates with Client C. So Client C is a local business owner, 9 years running a home staging company. She wants scalable systems, but she doesn't want to be an influencer. She knows she needs to be posting content because she's tired of relying on referrals and it's inconsistent. So she just wants reliable growth to get clients online. And she knows that building an AI clone to multiply her voice will help her to streamline this entire process. So let's dive into the knowledge base of Client C first. What resources do we need that we just listed out? Let's see, it's this one, I believe. Perfect. So we're going to go to Notion. Awesome. So I went ahead and already uploaded all of these documents, but I'll give you an overview of what we have here. If you're not familiar with Notion, this is going to be what's called a database table. And you'll see here, this is where Notion AI is. So if I wanted to ask questions of who is Client C, it'll automatically read all these documents. What's also cool about Notion is it connects with Slack, Google Drive, other resources. So if I'm going to say, hey, what did Client C say in Slack, it'll also reference that information whenever I'm talking about them. So Client C, we got the backstory. You'll see we'll have the backstory here. From Montana, has this whole story about who she is, where she came from, her problems, and her vision, what she wants to build. She wants to create something that'll actually support her business. We're going to go ahead and download this document. Export, save. Awesome. So we started off with just this one phrase offer. I help real estate agents sell homes faster by staging properties that create an emotional connection without adding stress or hitting costs. So we have this here. We put this into the offer bot, and this is what the offer bot gave back to us. All of these details. What beliefs, phrases, or thoughts does my ideal client typically say? Some listed phrases. So it not only goes into the psychology, but it also goes into the way that they communicate as well. We have some offer sentence variations, a transformation headline, mini brand bio, etc. Voice calibration. What we did here is, and let's just do this live again. So I'm going to take this voice analysis prompt, put this here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste her entire backstory into this. And let me show you what this gives us. So what I just did is I copy and pasted the prompt that's in the chat. That's going to analyze the tone and writing style, common words or phrases, patterns, all of that sort. And then I went ahead and copy and pasted her entire story that she would have recorded through Loom, Zoom using Fireflies, or even Apple Notes transcription. And what it's going to do is it's going to give me a full detailed analysis. Common words or phrases. Honestly, I don't want to, I'm trying to. I want, okay, so even the filler words that she says is going to be documented in here. The patterns of how she's communicated, you zoom out, then you zoom in. Honestly, whenever I did this, I thought this was very interesting because I learned how I communicate best. And there was a time where I was trying to communicate completely different than what was natural to my style. And this helped me really lean into what works for me. We have emotions, all of that good stuff here, right? So we would have just pressed the copy button and pasted this into the Notion database here. That's where we put the voice calibration. Next, we're going to have the avatar. The avatar is something that the offer bot is also going to give us. And with this offer bot, you'll see we'll have the psychographics, motivations. This really gets you a deep understanding of your ideal client. It's also going to give you different personas. So we have persona 1, persona 2. A lot of times, whenever you're thinking about avatars, it's hard to think about one perfect person that you're going to be working with, right? Sometimes there's going to be different variations of people that might want to work with you. This offer bot is going to help you identify those different archetypes of people. Deep dive messaging. This is step 3 of the process that the offer bot's going to take you through. And this is going to help you really get clear on the messaging. So this is all stuff that you can use with what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, with content, with creating sales funnels or landing pages with AI, the different sorts such as that, right? Transformation milestones, all of this stuff. So you see here how deep we are going with the information that we are delivering to the audience or to the custom GPT. And at the very end, we have our GPT instructions. And I'm going to show you this. It looks like a lot, but it's actually broken down into different sections. Now I'll just give you a general overview. We are calling this the Client C's personal brand assistant. We always want to start off with an intention or a goal in mind here. So this is a private tool, not for her audience, designed to help her think clearly, write confidently, and grow a modern productized business. Talks about what she does, who she is, and these were the top, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that she wanted to emulate. So this also goes into research. Do you like the way that Dan Kennedy communicates, or let's say that Alex or Mosey communicates? You'll see here she put skip the bro tone. She's a girl, and she doesn't want to sound like a bro. Maybe you're a bro, maybe you lean more towards like the aggressive, like direct side. Put that into here. Who are people that you resonate with? It's very important to put this in because it's going to pull information from that to support your voice. It's going to say the job, the intention here. It's also going to tell it something very, very important. I'm going to go ahead and leave this prompt in the chat as well. With this specific prompt that we're looking at here, act as a critical thinking partner. This makes sure that your GPT doesn't agree with everything that you're saying. It's going to tell you whenever you have a bad idea or whenever you're getting off track. That's what we want to train our GPT to do. We don't want it to be a yes man. That's why, honestly, if you have a conversation with your ChatGPT up, I have this saved in my notes to where I can just paste this at any time whenever I feel like it starts to agree with me too much. So go ahead and save this prompt. I went ahead and dropped it in the chat. Use it at any time with any conversation you're having, just to make sure that it's not focusing too much on just being a yes man to you. You'll see here, we have a lot of variables. Now, without getting too technical into this, we also want to set guidelines. So we want to say, don't make assumptions, don't be super templatized, don't sound like a robot, don't be too corporate. Make sure you guide her to stay true to her beliefs. So even if you have recommendations, make sure it aligns with what she actually believes in. So let's go ahead, now that we have all of this information, let's download it so we can start building out her clone. If you have any questions so far, go ahead and leave them in the chat. We'll go through these at the very end. And feel free to walk through this with me if you have your GPT up, so that way you know what buttons to click, where everything is. Awesome, awesome. So we're gonna download this last one. Okay, now GPT is gonna be the best tool to start off with. Again, you can use separate tools to do this, which we can talk about in the future. Now, let's see here. So we are going to start off in ChatGPT. Make sure you have the $20 Pro version. You're gonna see this button here called GPTs. Click on that. You'll actually see a bunch of GPTs that other companies have built that you can use. So they basically updated their data into this so you can use it yourself. But anyways, we're gonna press create. And this is gonna look like something that a crazy developer would use, but we're gonna keep it super simple. So what I'm gonna tell it to start off with, or I guess let's do a quick tour. We have the create button and then we have the configure button. We're gonna wanna stay in the configure tab. What the create button does is I could tell it, I am client C, I want to build a brand assistant. And it's actually going to train it on your behalf. Now, the reason I don't use the create button is because a lot of times it just is super surface level and doesn't go as deep as I want to, which makes it give me back general responses that doesn't actually help me at all, right? I want to get deep into what actually works for me. So you'll see it puts in a very short training instructions. I don't like that. Delete, good job, but no thank you. Delete, delete, delete. Okay, great. So I'm gonna name this client C assistant. Leave the description blank. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to my knowledge base. I'm going to go to the GPT instructions. And now you start to see how everything starts to connect with one another. If I ever needed to update any part of these instructions, I could update them here directly in Notion and just copy and paste it into here. If I just edit it directly into GPT, a lot of times it changes, updates, does some weird stuff. That's why we always want to keep it separate, just in case, worst case scenario, something happens. So I'm going to paste these instructions in here. Right here, you're going to see I'm able to upload files. This is where we get all of the data that we've gotten from our knowledge base. These four right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, actually 5. So the backstory all the way to this one. We downloaded them already and we can upload them here. Now, just for context as well, each one of these files can be up to the size of a Harry Potter book worth of information and data. That's a whole lot of information that we can upload to give context to this. Right now, we have a client we're working with. He has 500 YouTube videos. And so we are exporting all of that to train his GPT to only give back answers that would work for him and things that he said. Because he had a concern that, ChatGPT would say something random that doesn't align with him. And so we created guidelines to prevent that. So anyways, we can upload up to 20 Harry Potter books worth of information by clicking this button here. So I'm going to press it. I'm going to upload all of these files. Where are they? Created a zip. So I'm going to upload the offer clarity, the avatar. We're going to test this live. So we have the avatar. And what you're going to see, this is a little bit technical, but just something to consider. You're going to see that this is a .md. The reason that we typically do this is called a markdown. So you can upload a PDF or a markdown. If I'm getting a little too technical, leave a comment in the chat. But let me tell you why this is important. I have a reason for everything I do. Markdown is so that way computers can understand it. So if anybody's seen that meme of two AIs talking to each other and it's just a bunch of jibber jabber, that's what basically this is. But it's easier for it to understand so it won't make mistakes. So we're going to upload this one here. We got the offer clarity. We got the backstory, the avatar, the deep dive. Awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. We have all of these. Now for the capabilities, what we recommend is turn off Canvas and keep these other 3 turned on. So Canvas is whenever it pops up with a separate editing tab on the side. We turn this off because usually whenever it does that, it gives me very surface level answers and it just dilutes everything that I'm looking for. So turn it off, don't use it. And if it does it in your other conversations, just tell it not to do it. Now, we also want to have your additional settings on. So use conversation data to improve our GPT, to improve our models. Yes, we want to have that on. Perfect. And then also it'll allow you to just create a random image here. Awesome, let's go ahead and build this out. So the create button is going to allow me to bring all of this together and publish it. Anyone with the link, I would not recommend ever posting it into the GPT store. So only, I'm just gonna do only me. Anyone with the link would be if you're sharing it with your team. So if you have a content team, a marketing team, go ahead and share it with them. I'm gonna save this link. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, come up with conversation starters so I can show you what these actually mean. So the conversation starters are gonna be similar to how I had it with the offer bot. So it'll say something along the lines of, can we turn this client story into a content? Help me break this, blah, 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 ABC. Perfect, we'll go ahead and keep it. Let's test it. So tell me who client C is. And it's going to give me a full breakdown of who client C is, how she communicates, and all of that. And let's test it in here. Is this helping you guys seeing a live demo of creating your offer or creating your AI clone, your assistant? Go ahead and leave a comment in the chat there. So the last thing I want to demo for you before we go back here is the fact that you are able to connect multiple assistants together. Yes, yes, I love it. I love it. So if I wanted to say, hey, give me a story I can tell about my life. And you'll see it's already, my business partner, Carlos, is going to make fun of me. I always say, hey, hey, or like, okay, okay, sweet, sweet. So this is kind of trained on mine already. That's hilarious. So let's see, story prompt. This pulls it directly from the backstory. That's perfect. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press I'm going to press, do we want to create a carousel or email? We'll create a carousel. So a carousel is going to be the swipe tab or the swipes images on Instagram. You see me post those a lot if you follow me on IG. So I'm going to say, create a 10 slide carousel using a template in your knowledge base. It's going to search the knowledge. And now what we're witnessing live is 2 employees talking to each other. Boom, I love it. So what's cool about our carousel GPT, which you can see right here, is this carousel GPT is trained on over like 200 different carousels from top performing creators. We're not looking at what the creators actually said. We're looking at the syntax, the way they communicate, all of that sort into here. And the last thing we're also looking at is we trained it based on the patterns of what worked in those carousels. So we took it a step further. And here's the final carousel. Honestly, this looks really good. Who here is in the staging business? You can go ahead and post this. I'm just kidding. So I didn't mean to become the fixer. Oops. Honestly, this is really good. This could also be used for a Facebook post as well. I like this. Yeah, the format's strong. I like it. Okay, so now this is a live demo of what we just accomplished here. We just built an AI clone live. The resources that we needed were what we talked about earlier in this call. Your offer, calibrating your voice, your backstory, your avatar, and deep dive messaging. And 4 of these 5 documents are trained using the offer bot that we have here. From the offer bot, you can press start now. And we do have a worksheet that we give away in the community where you can fill everything in and make sure that you have super clarity on this. This is going to be something you can save on your phone or something in reference if you're ever at an event or something and need to clarify how to communicate your offer into this. Now, going back to this here. We just built a client C clone. That was so much fun. I'm such a nerd with that kind of stuff. I build a clone for everything, I'll be honest with you. You saw what I had here. I have probably like 20 clones for every little thing. The next one I'm building is a sales script clone. Anything where I'm like, I'm doing this way too much, or I'm being too repetitive, I'm gonna build a clone, I'm gonna collect the data, and I'm gonna be super intentional about that. So what we just did is we clarified your offer, we taught your AI how you talked, you watched it generate the real results, and now we can start building the next layer tomorrow. So we have the foundation. If you're feeling like a rock star today, you're going to be able to build out your AI clone. The only thing that you probably need is going to be the offer bot and to spend 15 to 20 minutes documenting your story. And then tomorrow, we're going to be going into how to use your AI clone and turn it into a content machine, how to automate lead follow-up, engagement, using AI to handle objections, using the clone we just built today, and how to sell without being the only ones selling. So make sure you have your calendar booked for 1 o'clock, same time tomorrow. Show up live, ask questions. And with that being said, what questions do I have for what we went over today? Woohoo, virtual claps. We went through a whole like masterclass right now. Feel free to unmute yourself if you have any specific questions. So tomorrow's session, the same as today. Baskar, let me know if I'm saying your name right. Tomorrow is going to be completely different. So what we did today is we created your AI clone. We got clarity on your offer. Tomorrow, we're going to use the AI clone to learn how to create content and create different marketing material so you can start converting leads from social media, email, and other places like that.
Awesome. Thank you. Is today's replay going to be available? I was able to join like really late due to a conflict.
Yeah, good question. We'll see if we're going to be able to, get it to you by the end of day today, but we're definitely going to be giving away recordings after this as well.
Thank you.
On that, you mentioned you're gonna package and send out emails. Will that be available? Will some of these items be available via email, or will only be available via?
Yeah, good question. We'll be sending everything out through email. Yep, that's correct.
Does that include the GPT instructions? I really love how you kind of prompted that. Looked great.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the instructions we use for client C?
Yes, yeah.
Got it. Yeah, good question. Yeah, so that goes a little bit more into detail. If you're in VIP, we're gonna go into that just because it's like 7 paragraphs worth of information. We're gonna be breaking it down one by one. But who's talking right now? I don't see your face. What was your name?
Sorry about Roshan. Hi, how's it going? I'm at a caliber shop, so yeah.
No, you're all good. You're all good. Yeah, send me a message and we'll see what we can work out. VIP, cool. Carlos, how much is?
So I've been trying to send a link to VIP. Go High Level is shut down completely right now, so I can't send a link, but it's 149. You're gonna get the bot, you're gonna get the resources, you're gonna get the frameworks, all the questions, everything that's inside of what we ask all the clients, all the documents that you just saw her go through, that you're able to download. You're gonna get every single one of those, and again, inside of the VIP, we're gonna go more in depth about how to use it each step by step.
Love it.
So it is 149. There's a lot
Cool.
of people in right now.
I got you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll go ahead and drop the link below. Go ahead. Yeah, that's crazy. Go high levels down. All right, we got some questions here. Cameron, what question you got for me?
All right, thanks for this. Because I've been trying to learn AI for a while, and a lot of people I've been talking with and like going on their Zooms, it's been confusing, but you really broke it down very well. So, I'd like to say thank you for that. What I want to ask about or add on what Roshan said, he said something about how much, or no, sorry, Carlos. Carlos said how much is it, or he told the price. Is it just a one time, or is it like a monthly, like you're in once and then you're in for life, or is it you're in once and then you got to keep paying? Like, how does it all work?
Yeah, good question. So VIP is going to be specifically for the Clone and Convert Challenge, which we're doing today. So we're going to meet shortly after this call, I believe at 2:30. We have Linda in here as part of the VIP as well. And we're going to be diving into all of this. So we're going to be doing 2 VIP coaching sessions today and tomorrow. And then we'll be giving you some resources as well. It'll give you 30 days free access of the community as well.
Okay, so it's just 149 for the 30 days, and then you got to pay it again for the next month.
149 one-time payment. You'll have 30
Okay.
access to the community, and if you want to stay in it because we drop some awesome stuff all the time, that's just 97 a month after.
Okay.
Good. I'm glad you gained value from today. I hope it wasn't just scratching the surface. I know we went a little bit deep. Love it. Henry, what question you got for me?
Hey, Natalie, how are you?
Amazing. How are you doing?
Excellent. Oh, I'm doing fantastic. It's funny that you're on here. I actually have been following you for probably like 2 weeks now. So it was just like funny. It's like, oh, this is the woman I've been following for a while. So that's dope. So thank you so much for your presentation. I came in on like the second half of it. But one of my questions is, because I kind of use a custom GPT, but I basically just build it out in the conversation thread. So like I make a project that I have like my social media GPT, my sales GPT to help with sales questions, or like business GPT for other things, and I just have them all in under that project. I'm able to build a prompt using like a prompt GPT that I created too, so I don't have to build like the most spectacular prompt every time. So I guess my question is, what's the advantage of using the custom GPT over that? The one issue I saw, and again, it might be user error, is that I wasn't able to access like all of my memory when I used the custom GPT. Like I would tell like the custom GPT, hey, pull up this information from my ideal client profile to build out like let's say a lead magnet. And they would say, well, I don't have access to the information. Could you load it up into? If that question makes sense.
Kind of. We're going to walk through it. So I'm going to pull up my GPT here. All right. So I know you mentioned projects. So you're using both projects and custom GPTs right now?
No, so I've used custom GPTs before. I'm not really using them in my workflow or my creation process. So I think within the project, I have different conversation threads.
In the projects, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, got it. So yeah, projects, think of a project as a whiteboard. Imagine you have a whiteboard behind you, you have sticky notes, you have notes onto there, but at some point you're probably going to erase everything and start all over. That's what projects are in ChatGPT. So you can still upload project files, you can still add instructions, but like you're experiencing, like the memory recall, or like the way it's able to kind of read through everything and remember, isn't as strong as a custom GPT. So have you built out, oops, wrong button. Have you built out a custom GPT?
No, I attempted, but I kind of like found something that worked for what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing. I think it's great. But again, the issue was like that custom GPT was able to access all the information I've already have like in my GPT memory, like my ideal client profile, even like specific leads who I have that I may have like put like the information into GPT to help me to figure out, okay, how should I say this? What should I do? How should I say that?
What was the goal of your custom GPT?
It was a lead magnet that I was just that I was playing around with. I found it, got it from like a seminar. They were like, hey, here's a free one for you. I think it was good, but again, just kind of uploading that information. I had to do it by hand instead of just like when I'm in my project. When I'm in my project in a conversation, I just say, hey, build me this lead magnet. Like if I have a GPT already in the conversation already kind of built out, I just say, you know, hey, build me a lead magnet based upon my ideal client profile, and then it was kind of just generated like that.
Yeah, I got you. So what I would say, Henry, message me on Instagram so we could go a little bit deeper into this. There's a couple of things that I have in mind, but make sure you come tomorrow because we're going to go through how to use your custom GPT to actually build out your lead magnets and different things for your marketing material. But if you actually want to like dive deeper into like how do you actually do that, the prompts, all of that stuff, doors always open for VIP if you want a little bit of more support to kind of get that done on the call.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let me stop sharing. All right. What questions do I have? Manny says, could he copy that memory thread and transfer it to custom GPT? Copy the entire conversation. Yeah, there's some Google Chrome extensions that allows you to do that. But honestly, I would just ask GPT, or I would ask that conversation, hey, create a summary of everything that I've talked about in this conversation, all of my feedback, XYZ, and then create a custom GPT based off of that. Or actually, I wouldn't even create a custom GPT. I would just ask your clone to help you accomplish whatever you're trying to accomplish. Always go back to your clone because it has more context than everything else that you're doing. Double thumbs up, Manny. Love it. Awesome. So is there an AI tool for podcast hosts where ask questions like the host and I answer as a guest? Kunal, great question. Honestly, I think that's an extra step and probably an extra subscription. I would recommend using an app called speechnotes.co. It's either .co or .com. It allows you to transcribe your entire conversation as well. I would recommend just either Loom, going to that app that I attached below and just going through it, right? But in the future, yeah, you're able to create extra podcast hosts. I know that, CapCut allows you to do it now, but that would be more for like content